He is now 15-0 as a professional. He is now 5-0 as a UFC fighter. He is Sean Brady, and he joins us now via the magic of Zoom. There he is. Sean, what's happening, man?
What's going on, my man? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're the man. I was going to ask you what's sticking out of your ear over there, but it's your AirPod.
Would it be easier for me to take them out?
No, it's like, I mean, I love watching fighters put AirPods in their cauliflower ears.
My ear is so bad, I have to like bend it in there a certain way or else it'll just fall right out.
My gosh. Not as bad as Adrian Yanez, who we saw had to get his ear drained on Saturday.
I seen him at the hotel afterwards, and I was like, bro, that ear looks bad.
Yes.
his was bad, but it was definitely worth it for him.
And we will be talking to him next. By the way,
nice.
The what's the word I'm looking for? Like the way in which you speak reminds me so much of Eddie Alvarez. Is this a Philly thing? Like even when you said I seen and when you say fight, it reminds me so much of Eddie Alvarez. Is that just a Philly thing, or is that because you've been around him and you've taken his accent?
I think it's just a Philly thing. I think it's just the way we talk. I'm around Eddie a lot. He called me right before I left for Vegas for the fight. He's like a big brother to me, but I think it's just the way we talk. I think we all kind of just sound the same, to be honest.
I love it. It reminds me a lot of him. And by the way, I do have to thank you. You were behind, the big push to get Andre Petrosky to walk out to Island Boy. He fumbled the bag, and we got Virna here who came out. Yeah. But it was a valiant effort on your part. I mean, you really tried to make this happen, yes?
I pushed. I was really pushing for it. I really wanted him to do it. He said some weird stuff to you on Twitter.
Yeah, that was weird.
I couldn't support that. I had to let you know that.
First, he wants to take me out to a basketball game. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to put you on the wall here.
We could have been immortalized. He dropped the ball. He dropped the ball for both of us, but he got the win that night. So that's what matters. So it's all good.
I don't know if I agree if that's what matters. I mean, he'd literally be on the wall here with all the gods, win or lose. Virna lost that night, and she's on the wall. Just for the record, just want to let you know. And by the way, both of you would have been on the wall. That was the deal.
I know.
Come on.
I know. Well, I didn't know you couldn't. Two different people couldn't walk out to the same song. As long as it's not I thought as long as you weren't fighting each other, it wouldn't matter. But I guess it does.
I kind of like that rule. There are enough songs out there. We don't need to hear the same one twice on the same night.
Yeah, but a lot of the time you don't even get to hear the song though, right?
That's true.
That's true. It turns to the screen and the people we're already in the cage. So yeah, but I guess you're right. There's a reason for it. But either way, he dropped the ball. I hope he's listening, and I hope he knows he messed up.
You did not mess up. You had a big win on Saturday. It seemed to me, correct me if I'm wrong, it felt like you weren't all that psyched about the win. Like you were down on yourself afterwards. Why?
Well, so I broke my nose multiple times. Chiesa, he did a good job. He hit me with a good punch right in my nose and like minutes into the fight, and I couldn't breathe for the rest of the fight.
Wow.
So it just made it hard. I have an appointment tomorrow morning to go get my nose x-rayed and finally get it taken care of so it stops bleeding when I get hit. But I was just sucking blood the entire fight, and it just made it hard to do. I wanted to do more and show more because I've been off for a while. I had 2 canceled fights, an injury. I just wanted to show more of who I am. But you're right, though. At the end of the day, I was number 14. I beat number 6. It's still a big win. I went back and watched the fight on the airplane flying home, and I was less down on myself. But I'm my hardest critic, and I just want to do the best every single time. But it's fighting, and sometimes you just gotta improvise and get the win, and that's what I did.
By the way, at what point in the fight could you not breathe anymore? Like when did that actually happen?
It was before I shot my first takedown. He hit me with a good cross. I took him down, and I was on his back, and I looked at his back, and there was so much blood on his back, and I was like, man, it was pretty bad. And that's when I started it was going in, like dripping into my throat. So I'm trying to breathe, and while I'm breathing, I'm sucking in blood. It's just something. I broke my nose a few times, and sometimes I'll get hit, hard and it won't bleed. But other times, like I'll just get clipped on it like small and during sparring, or even like if I'm squeezing like a choke really hard, like a lot of pressure, it'll start to bleed. So it's something I got to get taken care of, and I'm just going to get it done now. So it's not a problem in the future.
I noted after the fight, I think you won that fight. Obviously, I don't think anyone
Yeah,
would disagree.
yeah, no.
But I noted if this were Pride rules, do you win that fight because of how it ended? What do you think? You know, Pride rules, like they would score the fight on the whole, right? So basically, like who's standing at the end, right? Like who.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know at that point, because he to me, even in the third round, I had his back for 3 minutes, and he had a good 45 seconds, or I think it was less than that. I think it was 30 seconds. So to me, I won that fight no matter what rules it is. But yeah, man, I'm at that point in my career now where I'm not reading stupid comments on the internet,
Wow, what are you trying to say?
But,
you trying to say my comments were stupid?
No,
I mean, come on.
no,
No, I'm joking.
I seen it. But no, I thought I clearly won the fight. He had a few good moments, but I thought I controlled the fight overall. Yeah. And I honestly hope that future opponents think that that's the best I have. And it's going to be a rude awakening for a lot of people, because I didn't show really anything.
So this obviously, in terms of name, in terms of notoriety, like a step up for you. Did you feel a little more nervous going into the fight?
The actual fight, no. The week felt like a little bit different, just because I did a lot more interviews. I had a lot more media stuff. There just felt like there was more pressure there. There was more like, after you win this, what comes next? Like everyone's like, you're going to this, you're going to that. And I'm just like, listen, Michael Chiesa is a tough dude. There's a reason he's number 6 in the world. He's been in the UFC for a long, long time. Before that, he was on the Ultimate Fighter. So he has plenty of experience. And I knew it was going to be a tough fight, and I knew I just had to go win it. And then all that other stuff comes afterwards. So at the time, it was just noise. Going into the fight, I felt fine. And even looking back and watching it, even with my nose and anything else that happened, I still fought a decent fight, and I got the win. Not every night is going to be the best night of your life, and that's what's hard about fighting. We do all this training, we feel great, and then you get in there and you only have 15 minutes to show it. So if your stomach hurts, if your head hurts, all that stuff like can affect you, and you just got to adjust and you got to win. And that's what I did. And I'm 15-0, and I just I beat a big name, and that's what I think I needed on my record. A lot of people will look at me like, hey, he's 14-0, he's ranked, but he hasn't really beat anybody with a good name. I have that name now. So a lot of these other top 10 guys are going to have to, we're going to have to fight, So it's what I needed, and I got it the hard way, and I've been doing that my whole career, so I don't mind doing it.
Did you see that clip of him in between rounds? I'm not sure which round it was, where he's like, man, that guy's strong.
Yeah.
That's gotta be pretty damn cool, man.
I took him down, and he was like, man, because Paul Felder is my teammate of mine, and I know they're close. He was like, Paul wasn't lying. He was like, you are strong. I laughed, and I'm like, bro, like, we're in the middle of fighting right now. Yeah. He's the nicest guy in the world. And at the end of the day, like, people, even when we were hugging at the weigh-ins, like, but some of my teammates and my coach, like, they're like my best friends, and we try to kill each other at training. It's a sport. I don't have to push you at weigh-ins or mean mug you or anything like that to go in there and try to hurt you, Kiss is a super nice guy, and I'm just super grateful he gave me the opportunity that he did. Being ranked number 6, he didn't have to take that fight. He could have said no and waited for somebody, and I'm super grateful that he gave me that opportunity.
Man, it says a lot about him. I have openly criticized the welterweights in particular, who I feel like do a lot of squatting on their spot. Oh, I don't want to fight this guy. This guy.
Yeah.
Not a lot of dudes are fighting someone who's ranked 8 spots behind him, so he deserves a ton of credit for that.
100%. He's a great guy, and I wish him nothing but the best.
So that whole, because I know on the broadcast they were like, oh, I don't like, DC was saying he doesn't like when there's talking in the middle of the fight and all that. Would you prefer if there's no talk? How do you feel about that? Were you caught off guard by it?
I wasn't caught off guard. I didn't really. It didn't bother me. I trained with Neil Magny. He came out and helped me in the beginning of my camp, and he was like, he told me, he was like, yo, I don't know if he's either really, really nice or if he does it on purpose, he's going to be talking to you the whole time during the week if he sees you, and he's going to be super nice. And either way, it didn't bother me. You know, like I said, you can be nice or you can try to fight me when you see me. Either way, we're going to get in there and we're going to take care of business. And at the end of it, it's going to be, it is what it is. I don't mind. You can talk, you can say whatever you want. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and try to win the fight.
2 DC questions for you. The first one, in the post-fight interview, it really seemed like he was trying hard to get you to call someone out. What did you make of that?
Yeah. I guess I don't know what he wanted me to say. I'm not that guy, you know. I'm not going to say something I don't want to say. I think a main event would be nice against another top 10 or a top 5 guy. You know, the rankings come out tomorrow. I'll see where I land. And even if I don't get that, I really just another big name on a big card would be cool. I did say a name. I said the winner of Bilal or Wonder Boy in my post-fight interview. I couldn't think of it at the time. You know, you just get done fist fighting. People always say, like, what are you going to say afterwards? I'm like, I had to go fight. Like, I have to win a fight before I think about – I'm not worried about any of that other stuff. Like, people who usually worry about what they're going to say afterwards usually aren't even going to get to that point, you know? I had one job, and that was to win the fight. I wasn't worried about what I was going to say afterwards. But, yeah, so I didn't know what they wanted me to say.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I have not talked to him about it, but I wonder if someone was in his ear trying to get you to do that because it did seem rather forceful and perhaps in his ear so much that he forgot your name. What the hell, man?
Dude.
But you called him out. Did he forget your name or was it a joke? What do you think?
So what I thought he was asking my coach, Daniel Gracie, behind me, what name I wanted. And Daniel didn't know what he was saying either. And then it got clarified by my other coach, Jonathan Webb. He was like, no, he forgot your name. He was asking Daniel what your name was. I was like, he just said my name like 4 times. And then he was walking out. I was like, DC, you forgot my name? But he followed me back on Instagram, and he made it right. He said he was going to follow me. He actually said he already followed me, which he didn't. I commented on his page yesterday. I got the follow back. We're good.
You're good? DM? Did he send you a DM?
I hope so. My DMs are blowing up right now. There's so much going on right now. But nothing yet. But yeah, I got the follow, and I'm happy with that. DC's the man. But he did forget my name, though.
Well, he's on the mat here. I don't know if you could see the desk. His picture has been turned around. I mean, he's been dry. It's just a mess.
Yeah,
tough times.
Tough time. We'll have a discussion with him later.
Okay, fair enough. By the way, what a story for you, man. True or false? You almost lost your foot earlier this year?
I don't know if I was going to lose my foot, but it could have been trending towards that. I was in the hospital for a week. Long story short, I got a staph infection. My fiance, Kristen, and my mom are both nurses. They're like, you need to go to the hospital, get some IV antibiotics. I thought I'd be in there for a day. I'd be out, and I was supposed to fight Kevin Lee at the time. And it was still like 3 or 4 weeks out. I'd have enough time. I'd be completely fine. I got to the hospital. My foot wasn't getting better. I was in there for about a week, a little bit less than a week. 4 days in, they were like, listen, we have to do surgery because they did an MRI or something like that or a CAT scan, and they seen it was in my tendon and it was in my my ankle joint. So if it would have got, I guess, into my bone or something like that, it could have got really bad. But the pain I was in, it felt like I was going to lose my foot.
Wow.
Every time I couldn't walk. I had to use like a walker to go to the bathroom. Every time I would stand up, the pain that would rush to my foot, it was literally the worst pain I've ever had in my life. There was times I was crying at night. I would call because no one could stay at the hospital. I was texting my fiance, like I'm scared. Like I was scared, you know. I wasn't even thinking about fighting at that time. I was like, I might never be able to walk again. And I went from, I'm a guy who, all I do is train. I run, I spar, I do jiu-jitsu. I'm doing all these things. And then 2 days later, I'm laid up in the hospital, not able to do something. So I got out of the hospital, and it still wasn't over. I had a IV PICC line in my arm, so I had to get antibiotics for 4 weeks. After that. I wasn't allowed to train. I wasn't allowed to sweat because if it got wet on the inside and got into my blood, I could have got an infection in my blood, and I could have died from that. So it was rough. And my cut was so bad where they cut me open. When they took out the stitches, it was so swollen still, it had to close from the inside out. So when I got the original phone call to fight, my incision still wasn't even closed yet. I was just getting back to training, but it was such a big opportunity. I knew with time, I just had to let it keep healing, and it would. But I couldn't say no to the fight, and I had to let the incision heal up a little bit more. And I'll send you a picture of it. Oh. The incision it's nasty, and it took a while to heal. And my ankle is like disformed from it. It's crazy how different my ankle looks from the whole thing, but it feels fine now. And luckily, I didn't lose my foot, and it worked out. But it was scary. I'd never had a staph infection in my life, and the one I got did that to me. So yeah, it was scary.
And so, no ill effects anymore. Nothing.
No, I'm good. Besides my mind, I'm terrified for it to happen. So I'm like, I put like all kinds of cream on me now before I go on the mats. Like I was wearing wrestling. I didn't spar or anything without wrestling shoes on until 2 weeks ago, just so I could get like the feel of the mat on my feet again, because I was scared I'm like petrified that would happen again. I didn't even want to put my foot on the mat. So this was like the first time I was even putting my foot on the actual mat, but it's good now, and it feels completely fine.
Do you think it was such a bad experience that this is going to be a mental block every time you're preparing for a fight?
No, now I'm completely fine with it. I was at the my fiance I don't know if you could see this. This is
go a little bit more to the other side. No, yep. Oh, there it is. Wow, look at that. Dang. That is.
Yeah.
How many stitches is that?
It was a lot. We couldn't even count. There was she was pulling. So I guess some of them were like invisible or something. She was pulling them out like 3 weeks ago before the fight. That's how many were in there. It was brutal. But like I was just saying, I was at the PI, and I was wearing no shoes, nothing like that. I just still put like this defense soap on it's like a cream, like that's like a barrier. So before you go on the mats, like, you're supposed to be protected from it. But I'm good now. And I was going to wear ankle sleeves when I fought. I didn't fight with them, and I felt fine. So I'm good.
Okay. And I mean, that was a big deal for you because you're fighting Kevin Lee. He's a big name. Like that was your big step, right? I mean, Chiesa.
Yeah.
Was that a bummer? Did you feel like, oh my gosh, this was my opportunity? Not only am I feeling like crap, I'm in the hospital, I'm in pain, but like this big fight that was booked twice falls through.
Yeah. Well, because before that, when I fought Jake Matthews, after that, I was trying to fight in June, and I was asking for one of the top 15 guys, and I just couldn't get a fight. And they offered Kevin Lee, and my manager and my coaches were like, listen, he's not even ranked at 170, but at least he's a big name, and he's ranked at 155. So at least it'll do something for you, you know? So like, I wasn't even super hyped on the matchup, but I just needed to fight. So he pulled out the first time, and then we get a new date, and then 4 weeks out, that happens. And I'm just luckily, like, I have a great team and a great family behind me. I kept my mind on track. Once I got out of the hospital, I started just getting back into my routine. I kept my my nutrition, working with the guys at the PI. My man Charles out there at the PI. I kept my weight super low, so I didn't get big when I couldn't train. I just stayed on top of everything I could control. I did, and it made me just transition back into training and back in the training camp a lot easier. So it all worked out.
Did you get into MMA because of Eddie Alvarez?
So I started MMA when I was like 15 or 16 because a buddy of mine, his name's Andrew, he was doing jiu-jitsu at the time, and we were like lifting weights and we didn't know anything about it. But as soon as I started training, I like in Philadelphia, everyone, it's like a thing people say, oh, Eddie Alvarez is my cousin. That's like the fun, like everyone like wants to be related to Eddie, and like everyone just loves Eddie. So over the pandemic, we actually like connected because we always talked and we were cool, but we connected and we finally started training together. It was for my Christian Aguilera fight. He did my entire training camp with me. He was like my main sparring partner because there wasn't other training. So he was training with us full time in Philly. And now ever since then, me and him, we're super close, and I talk to him all the time. So he's the man, and he's done a lot. He actually got me signed to the UFC.
Really?
Yeah, he called Dana personally, and I had a contract the next day. So he's the reason I got signed.
Damn, what a legend. Wow,
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
incredible.
he is a legend. He's a legend in fighting, and he's a legend in Philly for sure. He's the man.
One day I got to walk around his neighborhood, Kensington, with him.
That's where our gyms are at. It's
Your gyms are in
yeah,
Kensington?
yep. Right, one's right on American Street, 2 blocks off Kensington. That's Marquez MMA. That's our striking gym, and then Daniel Gracie's jiu-jitsu gym is right off Front Street, right across the street from a pawn shop under that L right there.
Damn. Oh, yes, I remember that. Oh, wow. That's a tough
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
town,
yeah.
man.
The UFC came and filmed, and they had me running under the L.
Uh,
And I'm like, yo, we got to cut this short soon. We can't be doing this.
yes.
It's rough under there, but it's kind of what breeds all these tough fighters.
How many tattoos do you have?
Too many to count, and I'm getting more.
You're getting more?
I'm getting tattooed. I'm getting tattooed on Wednesday.
What was your first?
It's my family crest on my back, and that big Hanya mask that's on my back, it's had to be built around it because I got it, and now all my tattoos are all gonna be like Japanese inspired. That's just my thing now that I love it. I had tattoos from when I was younger that I'm gonna get lasered off and all covered in Japanese. It's gonna be a long process, but I'll get into that when I'm like done fighting. But until then, all my skin that's open is all gonna be covered with Japanese.
Wow. And why Wednesday? What's the occasion? Because your birthday?
No, just that's my birthday's. When's my birthday? My
Tomorrow.
birthday is tomorrow. I don't know when my birthday is. But the day after, my guy, he had because good tattoo artists, they don't just, you can't just go, like you have appointments. So he actually fit me in on Wednesday, and that's when I get to go, and I get to get some pain.
And what are we getting?
I have to. He won't tattoo me until I finish it's my left butt cheek.
Oh my
God,
God.
Not finished.
Left butt cheek.
Yeah, the outline's done. It just has to be shaded and colored in, and that's what we're getting into on Wednesday.
Wait a second. That's covered up, right?
Yeah.
What's the point of this?
See it, but because I want my it's called a Japanese bodysuit. I want an entire bodysuit.
Oh,
everything's covered.
what percentage of the body is covered?
A lot.
Like, what would you say? 80?
Yeah, it's got to be close to 80. I have like the right side of me not done. I like my armpit. I won't do the front of my neck. I have that leopard on the back of my head. I won't do the front of my neck because out of respect for my mom, she asked me not to.
Wow.
So, I trust me. I want to do it, but I gotta.
Don't do it, man.
No, I won't. That's the only reason I won't do it is because my mom.
What about the face?
No, never. Not the face.
Okay.
No face, no neck. I'm not gonna be like your boys, the Island boys.
Yeah.
No.
Good.
No face. No face tattoos.
Damn. So even the parts that the public doesn't see, you just want the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess your
covered.
fiance. That's all that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
Does she have tattoos as well?
Like 3 small ones.
Okay.
We just got bees on the back of behind our ear for our dog. His name's Bane. So we went and got some little tattoos for him.
The champ was in attendance, Kamaru Usman, right? He was sitting in the front row on Saturday. He say anything to you? You say anything to him?
I went up to him afterwards. I just said, "What's up, champ?" He was sitting there with Ali, and I said, "What's up?" to both of them. I know Ali. He's a Renzo Gracie black belt. I'm a Renzo Gracie black belt. And Kamaru, he's a great champion. I just said, "What's up, champ?" after I fought, and that was that.
How long before we're fighting for a belt? We're in the discussion in your mind. How long?
In the discussion, one more fight, 1 or 2 more, fighting for it. End of 2022, early 2023.
Let's go.
We'll see how the year plays out. I'm gonna get my nose fixed. Get whatever's going on there. I get an X-ray tomorrow. Get it taken care of, and I want to fight in March or April. And I want to get 3 in this year. Hopefully, no injuries happen, and just keep going.
I love it. Well, I wish you continued success, my man. It's an amazing story.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that we finally got to get you on the show. I've been trying to
me
book you
too.
all this
Me
time.
too.
You're so busy, you won't come on. No, I'm joking. That's on me.
Yeah,
That's
I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that DM.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you having me on, man. I'm a big fan, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, and happy birthday, happy
you,
early
brother.
birthday to you tomorrow. Congrats on the win, the big win. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Thanks,
it was
Eric.
a great performance.
I won't.
And I look forward to the next one.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, there he is, Sean Brady. Remember that name as well. And I got to tell you, the nachas that I get, I'll never forget. Again, not trying to, open up the old one, but like, I'll never forget when I was told, I was told this. I was legit told this. Like the younger guys, you don't have to have them yet. These are the fighters. These are the people. These are the men and the women who make me love MMA.